Transfer targets, new kits, new budgets, new toffee to eat in the fridge downstairs, and a new Toffees episode. As yes people, welcome. There's a little bit of a sneak kit right there, or kit sneak peek. I can't say that correctly, but welcome back. This is season 2 now of the Everton Career Mode. We only had one episode in season number 1, or if you're watching this another way, we've got a long way to go. That's the baseline of it, as I made some kits to show off to you guys myself. And I don't really know about these ones, but I wanted new kits for this new season. I didn't want to continue with them, as this is the Everton home kit. As you can see, I went for rather striped, just for something different. We've got stripes on the arms, stripes on the back, everything is just striped. All kind of so we don't get a kit clash, which we did last season, and this away kit inspired by the toffee penny. If you're English and you know about quality sweets, they come in a yellow wrapper. Maybe we get nicknamed the honeybees, but I really do actually like this kit. I'm going to be secret about it. And you can see the goalkeeping kit. I love the sleek design. Jordan Pickford in all black / grey with that fire / paint kind of design that's been thrown all over him. I don't mind that as a difference. And there'll be new kits coming very soon. As you can see, the sponsor on the kit is different. It's not a gambling one, it is Chunk Fudge, who do sponsor this series and basically the channel, because you can go to the description, click on that link below and get yourself some fudge. Really good handmade quality stuff. If you're after a sweet treat, really recommend. Absolutely fresh as anything, so when you do order them, eat them quick, because they are best when eaten immediately. And a lot is in my belly right now, as the budget right here is 51 million going into season number 2. There's so much to get done here, as our youth scout's not out anymore. We do have youth players ready to step up, like Jack Burns and Will Rutherford. Also, Boubacar Ubet, who I kind of don't want to promote Rutherford, just because we've had another Rutherford in another save. Actually, it could be a good storyline, and I actually have to promote him, because this season, like no other. Right, he's speaking about his contract, is Harrison Armstrong, but I've got something to show you. I'm on the first day of the season, literally, so he's already complaining. Yet the youth player has submitted a transfer request off his own back, alongside Nathan Patterson, who, to be honest, isn't a youth player anymore, so I wouldn't actually mind selling. And then Carlos Alcaraz has potential, but he wants out, so we've got transfer listed players alongside Beto, because that's one off of my own back. I think I want a striker this season, with a big loan list, getting them players out on loan, including Anthony. Cummings has to be on that list, because that's another CDM, as I want a CDM. This season, I do want to replace Tim, despite my love for him, because I will be rotating this squad. I think we need a new left back and centre back. Tarkowski's just suffered a knee injury. McNeil, or should I say Keane, is 74. McNeil's another player I am thinking about potentially replacing. This bench very weak. With the players asking to leave us, at least the first team I could actually leave itself. Unless we do get any big bids in for our players, such as Pickford, Garner, and Dye, and Jared Branthwaite. I think I'm only going to accept offers from huge clubs, the likes of City, the likes of Arsenal, if they want any of those players. And the first offer is actually an acceptable one. Strasbourg going into the blue group is Pato, so we'll see him out. The Scotsman sees out the Scotsman. Not the only bit of business though. Armstrong to St. Galoy, a player I actually had a lot of faith in. I thought him, Tim and Joe Garner will be Everton's future, but obviously not, as here goes Beto. Yeah, he's just not working for me, although I do want a physical presence up front who needs to come in, and also I do want to go and get another CDM in midfield. 64 million now, but I'm ignoring the main thing, which is we are in Europe. Right, the Conference League. Expected a Europa League spot, which means signings much actually happen. I don't think we've been back to the high hills, but the first player, one of my favourites, and we have just sold to Championship Wolves, Beto with João Gomez 25-year-old. Now, I know there's obviously Andre, who's a little bit younger, but he is 82 rated, so 10 million more. And I am simply not paying that. A big chunk of our budget here when we already do have Tim, but this man has to go in as soon as I actually saw they were relegated. Little bit more than I do want to spend. But João Gomez, welcome. I wouldn't be surprised if this deal happened in real life. I love this midfielder as well. So now we've got an 80 rated midfield. Hopefully Dewsbury Hall does join that. Illiman and Dye's there. Tyler Diblin shouldn't take long. With now Sharif as our backup player. However, I want to focus on centre-back. In the Conference League, defence is really going to be vital. Young Will Rutherford's going to give it a go to try and sit in front of it, but I'm not going to trust him. The man I'm thinking about at centre-back, because I'm just changing a few things round, is Tim himself. He's only 23, right-footed, not left, which obviously usually is a rarity, but he's both-footed actually on the stats. He's 6 foot. We've got some young midfielders up and coming. That could save us a position. We've got Tarkowski, who we can now time the game time with. A bit of experience on the bench in Keane and Tarky. But then we need to fill out these positions. We need a cam, and we do need another midfielder after a striker. And David Moyes still is in charge of this first team. So we've got to find a Moyesy man. And as you can see, I've looked at the physicality, and Roberto Fernandes at an 80, Piccoli at a 79, over at Fiorentina, experienced in the Europa League or the Europa Conference. This man, though, is the cheapest. Lorenzo Lucha. He's got experience now in the Premier League, is on loan currently at Forest. Really would like this guy. Another 25-year-old heading to his prime, but I will not pay over 15 million. 12 million, not accepted. Dwight McNeil not in an offer anymore. I'm keeping Dwight at the club. A like for like with Tierno Barry as he accepts the deal. Gives us a 23-year-old and then a 6'7". Shouldn't have said that, but a 6'7" striker. He's our number 9 now that Beto departs the club with a cheeky bit of cash needed, but we're still just loaning out players. Tyler Onyango, he's going to Stoke City. And then a permanent one, Alcaraz. He's going to Leeds United. Roman Dixon to Alves. Good game time for the youngster. Potential right back in the making. Francis is out. We know we've used him in a save before, and we're not selling any more permanent players, don't you worry. It's Isaac Heath to Hull City. Now could we set up our own youth? For this season, still 30 million. I don't want to spend it all at once. Then again, I know the board can just come and take that whenever they actually please to, as I'm going to send a scout. Let's go random. Lithuania, I've not heard a player from. And Brunei Darussalam, never heard of them also. Both will be looking for cams, as do we need to look for another midfielder? Tim is about to change, but do I just trial one pre-season game before I make that switch a reality? Because we do lack a DM on the bench. We've still got Cummings. And to be fair, that's a decent job in the defence. Diblin, McNeil with goals, Barry, and Dewsbury Hall. There's originals, so the bench players literally don't need to push the first teamers out. They're doing a job as is, as he changes, but his overall doesn't. He's going to be that stopper that Tarkowski was, improving the physicality and pace. There's no big offers for our now big 5 players. Okay, forward step, João Gomez, adding another 80, but do we add another one? I think with the money we've got and the fact that I have said a lot, we only need a bench player, means we don't actually have to spend a lot, as can we see our first Premier League game? It is Aston Villa. Probably should have looked at the calendar. This will give us an easier view, as Villa away, Manchester City at home, then Brighton away is not an easy one, followed up by the deadline. And I think our team is actually good enough to get up to that deadline as it is, unless there's any huge offers, as a draw with Elche doesn't do us justice. And this doesn't do realism any justice. Branthwaite not going to Liverpool. That is treason, as Gomez gets his first goal for the Toffees. Jordan Pickford gets an offer in, but he's going absolutely nowhere. Like I said, unless it's a big club, and I actually haven't checked contracts. Right, Dwight McNeil wants to sign a new one, but despite us not having many players, I'm still not going to sign it up. I'm going to see how he does come January. He's training to be the backup cam, so we will get the game time here due to the lack of players we actually have. Jack Burns only 16. He might might shock a few teams because I think he will be in our team for the first game of the season. Obviously, we're taking on Aston Villa with Tarkowski also out. I'm trusting Tim and Jared, hopefully, is the future. Sometimes you've got to make them big calls, and we are in the Toffee Penny Yellow. I can still tell which team we are. There's no kit clash going on with the Honeybee kit. So good, I'm calling it two things, but come on. Toffees, don't let us down. Dewsbury Hall with the instant tackle. Very harsh conditions. We've got Lorenzo Luca on the bench when we need him. João Gomez, the only starter from the new players. Tim starting in his new position here with Tyler Diblin. A lot of trust gone into him at the back end of last season with Garner across to Dewsbury Hall. João Gomez looking for the gap and finding it. A good start. We're in actual similar colours to Martinez in the goal. If we could force him into a mistake, or one of the defenders into passing to one of our lads, thinking we're actually their goalkeeper, that would be brilliant. Come across, Tim, it's a handball. Any more of thems and Tarkowski will actually be starting again. Pau Torres into Ezri Konza. Don't concede the first goal here. That would screw us. John McGinn could be a potential signing. Coming to help out a Scottish manager. Always rumours of him leaving. And here goes Garner again. He's got it over the top into Tyler Diblin. Diblin's going to keep this ball alive. We need the run into the middle. We don't get it. Illinum die. Surely that's a handball, Garcia. No, okay. You've got a call for everything. It is 0-0 at Villa Park. Not the worst result in the world if it stays, as Tyler Diblin needs to get around his man here. He does do, sneaking inside twice, and João Gomez gives it into Dewsbury Hall. We need the run forward right here, and we get it with a good bit of passing into Dewsbury Hall. An angle for a finesse shot, and that is just over the crossbar. Very close there, and this half is actually passing us by. I mean, a 0-0 draw with Aston Villa isn't the worst result, especially when we've got the Conference League, which is making me just think about signings. We definitely need a bigger squad, maybe more youth players, as Rodgers, he's around us. Garner steps out of his line. Just before we make our subs, we're actually making 3 and they're making 2. As you can see, David Moyes is giving a cuddle to Cummings coming onto the field. One of our youth, because we obviously need another midfielder potentially for the bench. I was actually thinking more in cam, but McNeil's going to go across to the cam position, which he's playing now. Burns has a bit more potential, and Cummings could get an assist here. The 6'7" man gets a chip over the top. He doesn't need to score with his head. Lorenzo Luca on his debut, potentially one of his first touches. Cummings got the assist as well. Let's not forget about that for the youngster. Absolutely brilliant. And number 9 straight off the bench, one touch with his right. Oh, Martinez should be saving it. But we don't care. We're winning our first game of the season at Villa Park. And next up, at home, the first game at Hill Dickey is going to be Manchester City, which doesn't make it any easier. But we start in 5th. And Tyler Diblin's on social media saying he needs to be better, but he's glad the manager's got faith in him. I saw a lot of trolls on that post as well, didn't like it. We've got to motivate this lad. He had a decent game, and we've got to make changes for City, which is Luca coming in. I'm not going to risk Cummings from the off yet, and I am going to change Tim for this game just because Tarkowski's got the experience. Plus, we've got Brighton a few days after, and plus, we're going to make signings, and if Tarky doesn't improve, we could be selling him to up that budget. Might as well sell players while they're getting older, and Dwight McNeil is 26, kind of reaching his prime, and there we go, he's sorted as our backup cam. As City visit the docks, come on, Everton. Back-to-back wins in the Premier League would be superb. It's poor man's Haaland versus rich man's Haaland, which is Luca. Poor man obviously being Erling. We need to try and hit the crosses into the box here. We've gone with a very physical, Moisey team to get them on the break. O'Brien over the top. Tyler Diblin. That's a cross towards Luca. A header straight into Donnarumma's midriff. More of that though, please. Manchester City look very quick. Very quick. As there's one of the quickest players in behind Jared Branthwaite trying to come across. Comes across to read it very well. And sometimes it's genuinely the thought that counts. Rodri in the middle of the park. The Ballon d'Or Rodri. Haaland, we need to be very careful. It's actually been 35 minutes of City dominance apart from maybe the biggest chances going our way, but not big chances as Doku saved by Pickford. City spring the surprise. O'Reilly, he's around us. Don't concede from a set piece. The English teammate reads the other English one. Half-time's almost acquired. And against Manchester City, Being 0-0 at half-time is a massive, massive scoreline. But I can't get ahead of myself. There's the quick feet of Rodri. Doku, no, get rid of it. There we go. There's 135 minutes of not conceding a goal, plus stoppages. And this Everton side is beautiful. João Gomez, a ball carrier into the side, which Tim really isn't. Lorenzo Luca not at the front post, so I'm going to go to the back post where Tyler Diblin was kind of drug, who has been kind of asleep this game. Haaland's got past Tarkowski. I should have stuck with Tim. Oh, Tim, I'm so sorry you're on the bench. I love Tarkowski for FPL IRL, but in this game, not good enough anymore. He's lost one leg. He's down so much pace. Asnu onto the field alongside Dwight McNeil. There he is, our number 7 on the ball. Tyler Diblin waits for the overlap here of Gardner. Luca's in the box. Handball! Rodri, who I've shouted out a lot. Time for an instant response. Come on, Illiman and Die. Beat Donnarumma. Go to that top right. We're giving the big teams a go today. We've beat Aston Villa. We're beating Everton. Oh no, we're not beating Everton. We are Everton, and it's still a draw. Hashtag burned out brain. With trying to actually focus on getting a result from this game. Erling Haaland into Doku, playing the 1-2. Branthwaite in behind. He has swept up everything James Tarkowski hasn't. That looks like it literally ignored the rules of physics. Jeremy Doku, no idea how he's put that up and hit that on the half volley. To beat us with 5 minutes left on the clock. That's our title pushover. I'm only joking, as 1 win, 1 defeat, 0 goal difference somehow. Oh, we won 1-0 and lost 2-1. Makes sense as Southampton were promoted. They're up there, same as Brentford, Man United, on top of this league. Coventry obviously promoted. And Leicester City. Were they given the points back or something? Because in real life, a massive points deduction. Any special players they've signed to get themselves up there? I mean, Bilal El Khanous has returned. Christiansen. I tell you what, their team for the championship in real life to be in relegation zone. I know they've had their problems, but it's just criminal. And something I've just peeked here, not Gonzalo, who is brilliant, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be perfect for David Moyes. Obviously still in his Everton kit, and obviously we're not signing him back. He left as a free agent. I think that will be a little bit sour, both for Everton fans if I bring him back, and also for Everton the club. Also Calvert-Lewin himself as Michael Keane we could cash in on, but with our numbers thin. I'm rejecting loan offers. We need to get buying, but before we actually get buying, I'm going to go into Brighton. And before we go into the before, I'm going to check the youth. We got 3 players in through the door, and the best one at the top, the 5'7" potential magician, Mirza Hilal. Then Boubacar Youbé's just annoying me, so I'm probably going to promote him. Kazlau, well, I'm actually going to release him because I can't say his name. More youth, though, into the building. We'll be running the youth out in the Conference League. As it stands, Antieno Barry has gone up a rating. Disappointed he didn't play. With Tarkowski also going down 1, so Tim is 1 rating below him now. Going into Brighton, where yet again we do pick up a draw thanks to Diblin. A result we're going to have to accept, as it's going to be Chelsea up next. That's after deadline day, however. And what bids have we actually got in? A big one in for Tim, which unfortunately going down. I know I said I would accept big clubs, but Manchester United in real life haven't been the biggest. And do they really want Tim? Are they trying something with homegrown players to make sure they get a bang for their buck? Going around the FFP rules as we need to spend ourselves. We can't deal with the team we've got, and I'm not going to make you wait till next episode. We need a midfielder because Cummings, yes, he will get a little bit of game time, don't you worry. But he won't start for me at all times, and there is a perfect player that Moisey would want in Thomas Souček, but I'm not going to be that boring. This is a forward-moving career mode, and we want forward-looking players. We want younger players with potential. Potentially, from elsewhere, we've got Vladimir Brazko, who's the first player I've stumbled upon, and definitely could play up front. As you can see, I had cams on my shortlist. I thought I was going to go cam shopping, but Vladimir and this guy, Demir Ege Tigsnaz, they're both phenomenal, but one player's actually cheaper. He's just recently moved. Okay, We do have a Ukrainian already in our squad, so to have 2 buddying up could actually really help us in the long term. Wouldn't cost all of our budget. Costing us 15 million and leaving us 15 million for January after his contract negotiation. As that's 2 defensive midfielders signed today. He's on our bench, and it's 2 bench players actually signed. Luca, I thought, might push Barry more, and has kind of pushed Barry, and I keep forgetting we've got the Conference League, as it now should be released. Please say it has been. Say we know our games. No, the playoff round's not done, so we're going to have to actually wait. Hopefully all this waiting does mean a good campaign.